Hey everybody, welcome to February 2021. I know we are all really tired of talking about crises and dealing with crises, but guess what? There's another crisis. I'm referring to the SolarWinds hack, and this really has the potential to impact your customers both in the public and private sector. Now, this hack was revealed in December of 2020. It went kind of underreported, in my opinion, because Russian hackers gained access to potentially thousands of companies and public sector organizations between March and June of last year, and it went undetected for months. That's pretty concerning. And so I want to talk today about how this crisis is unfolding and how executives are responding or not, and what that means for those of you who are selling and marketing solutions into these organizations. So the first thing we noticed is that this crisis is unfolding very similarly to how COVID unfolded just a year ago. So the first similarity is that executives are experiencing this tremendous period of uncertainty and almost complete blindness into how their organization has been impacted. They don't know in many cases if their systems were breached or what the impact is, and they're trying to figure it out. And until they figure it out, they don't want to talk about it. And we saw that exact thing happen with COVID last year. And what we saw last year was that they were forced to talk about it on their first earnings call after the crisis hit, because of course the analysts asked them about how COVID-19 was impacting their organization and how they were responding. Unfortunately, we are not seeing the same curiosity from analysts this year about the SolarWinds hack. We've reviewed multiple earnings call transcripts in the past week, and we are not seeing very many questions about this. So we had to kind of go out and do some of our own research, and what we are hearing is that boards and CEOs are quite worried about this crisis, and they're asking their technology leaders for more information. So this means that chief information security officers and CIOs are talking to their peers, they're talking to their vendors, and they're scrambling to determine the impact and the next steps. So we have heard publicly, however, from corporate security experts, at information security vendors, and also government security experts, that it could take years to address this crisis and more than $100 billion to identify, contain, and fix the damage. And it's also exposed flaws in our nation's cybersecurity infrastructure. And they called out two things specifically. The first is that the US has a severe shortage of cybersecurity talent, and some are calling for an educational moonshot to address this and bring up the next generation of cybersecurity experts. And the second thing is there's often a real lack of visibility into a company's security infrastructure, because IT and security operations are often siloed and not well aligned. As a result, 39% of organizations say it takes months or even years to respond to a security incident. So corporate leaders are very worried about this all the way up to the board level. What does that mean for you if you're selling technology into these organizations? Well, it means the spotlight is on you for the highest levels of the company. The budgets are potentially beyond what they used to be because they're willing to spend a lot of money to fix this. It's really an imperative across the board. But if you are selling these solutions, that means you're going to be under more scrutiny. Some companies are saying they want fewer vendors because this was a supply chain attack, which means the more vendors you have pushing out software updates or patches, the more opportunities there are for this kind of a breach. So that's important to know. But you need insight. You need insight into each individual company and the executives running that company if you're going to engage them around this topic. So this is what we provide to our customers. We track different crises and topics that companies are dealing with and what the executives are saying about them, and SolarWinds is no different. And we've started tracking this in our database. And the way that you can find this content is go to our search page and do a keyword search for SolarWinds. That's one word, SolarWinds, in the keyword search field. And we have all these other filters that you can also employ to narrow down your search. But this is the kind of content that you can expect, and we are really digging into this on a daily basis and adding more content as more becomes available and more executives are talking about the SolarWinds hack. So I hope that is helpful to you and it helps you close lots of deals in 2021, and we'll be providing more content about this in the future. So until next time, thank you for listening.